Female representation. We've been hearing a lot about it this past year, like Tide Pods and the undeniable chemistry in A Star is Born. No, not Gaga and Bradley Cooper. I'm talking about Sam Elliott and his own mustache. Where were we? But why is female representation in America important? This is Desi Lydic Womansplains. Now, the reason we've been hearing so much about female representation is the 2018 midterms. A record number of women won seats in Congress, which is great. But remember, that's only 24% of Congress, and women make up 51% of the population. So the vast majority of policymakers have never even experienced ovulation or childbirth or catcalling, except Ted Cruz. He's definitely been catcalled. Except it's usually people shouting, "Smile less." I feel for you, buddy. And representation is important. Research shows that when women are in politics, it's more likely women's rights will advance in areas like pay equity, healthcare, and family leave. Those are like the Hemsworth brothers of policy. Plus, women are better at getting stuff done for everyone because we tend to be more bipartisan. Even I was bipartisan for a brief time in college. Me and my roommate, Abby. Sometimes I wonder which way she went. It was the time to experiment.
You were just waiting for me to finally come around.
But to understand why we're only at 24% representation, we need to take a look back at our history. When America was founded, all of our leaders were men. The signing of the Declaration of Independence was a serious sausage fest, which, by the way, is why we eat so many hot dogs on the 4th of July. What a patriot. The first step in female representation was fighting for the right to vote, which began in 1848 at the first Women's Rights Convention. A group of abolitionists led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott wrote the Declaration of Sentiments, which was modeled after the Declaration of Independence, making it not only the beginning of women's suffrage, but also the first all-female reboot. Thankfully, Twitter trolls hadn't been invented yet. And those women didn't just talk about representation, they fought to make it happen. In 1872, Susan B. Anthony was arrested and tried for even attempting to vote. Susan B. was the Cardi B of her time. You couldn't fuck with her even if you wanted to.
Get your money up.
And their struggle ultimately paid off. In 1920, America ratified the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote, which meant it was time to party! Except it was prohibition, so we couldn't properly celebrate for another 13 years. The entire 20th century was full of firsts for women in government. The first female representative and senator, the first major party presidential candidate, the first black woman in Congress, the first lady space princess, and the first female vice presidential candidate. We were proving that women belong in powerful jobs, and also bullshit ceremonial jobs like vice president. Then, after the 1992 election, the number of women in Congress jumped all the way up to 54 in what became known as the Year of the Woman. Though for me, 1992 was the year of the hammer pant. I think I pulled it off. Since then, we've broken even more barriers, including the first woman Speaker of the House and first woman to be a major party's nominee for president. I forget how that election ended. Let's just move on. And even after all the progress we've made, the US is still only ranked 79th in female representation out of 193 countries, which, coincidentally, is the same ranking I had at my high school dive meet. Still stings. But organizations like Emily's List and She Should Run are working to fix that by encouraging women to enter political races. Visit supermajority.com/cc to join the movement for gender equity. And for more on female representation around the world, be sure to watch Desi Lydic Abroad, Monday, May 13th on Comedy Central.